airplanes, everything. We have to continue to work on it now. My name is Paul James. I host this news every morning.
And a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audience on a very cold day, very cold morning. Welcome to the East-West show that is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and hand-forged by 10 generations of the #1 craftsman on the global earth. Together, the name of Wolfers stands as a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory. Back to the show. Today with me is a good friend to the community and is an expert with solar energy. Name is Jeff Lieou, and a specialist in solar energy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you to the audience for tuning into the channel. May I be here to be of service to help.
Very good, very good, very good. And of course, we have been promoting solar energy for several times through this window on this program. But to go specifically from A to Z all the way, from the starting of a human race to the unknown future of human race, we have never had the chance of going so much. Today is the one. So I would like to start from the very beginning of our human race, the very early days, when we started the first discovered fire. From that point on, we understand fire can be energy, can keep people warm, can cook food, so on and so forth. And from that point on, more and more fuels, things can be burned, discovered, so we know we have more sources. And from then, we started a big way going with the Industrial Revolution for the first time, Industrial Revolution for the second time, and now we're talking about Industrial Revolution for the third time. So in the whole process, where do you think the solar energy stands?
Environment. However, if we simply put it, for many years I was into solar, 99.9% of people, the purpose for going solar is saving money. I have probably one customer, however, with the motive of helping environment, that's realistic. May I elaborate from what you said, about energy and burning. For million years of evolutions, human beings look for survival, comfort, and all that. So we discover energy will improve the quality of life. Therefore, for billions of years or millions of years, as long as there's Homo sapien, and we've been taking things from the earth and we just burn it. The question is, how many more years can we keep on burning?
Things are getting worse, started the point when electricity was discovered.
Right.
Am I right?
Correct.
So before electricity, you're burning for the first stage of burning, you get whatever out of burning.
Correct.
You're not burning to make energy. Burning energy to make energy.
Correct.
Right? From the point of electricity that being discovered,
yes,
you started going process of burning something as energy to produce energy.
Correct.
For something, right?
Correct.
From then on, burning has been the only thing to create energy. Later, we discovered electricity, right?
Correct.
So now, speaking of burning though, how many stuffs can we burn for the purpose of electricity?
selfishly speaking for mankind, we have been selfishly burning whatever we can get our hands on.
All right. That's a good conclusion.
Right. And then in the process, we create a lot of byproduct. And then because the selfish need for comfort, we, majority of the generation that we've been acting as an ostrich and closing one eye as if the problem is not exists, or we just evading the true question, what kind of damage are we doing to the mankind?
Of course. We go as we learn, right? As human race, we go as we learn.
Correct.
At the time we started burning, for example, timber for fire,
Right.
all right? We burn timber for a train.
Right.
We burn coal for a train. We do not know what we are doing.
Correct.
We do not know the consequences by then.
I
right?
agree.
We used to burn timber, coal, right? Now we learn that the third way of burning the waste,
Yes.
burning waste, right? Of course, burning waste has the benefit of getting rid of the waste, but it is, well, carbon that evaporates into the air.
Correct.
Right. In the old time, when people started to burn, though, they did not know the consequences.
Correct.
Now we know.
We
now
know
we
better now.
Right now I know. Okay. As a conclusion, burning is not a way out, isn't it?
It got to stop somewhere. We know better now, so we cannot evade the question that, you know, what kind of damage are we contributing to this earth? And how, the thing is, we cannot keep burning forever. In many millennium, we have no choices but burning what we have. And in this modern age, we discover natural gas and other resources, water, electricity, so on. However, most of these energy, we do not have a choices. However, we are blessed. We have discovered solar too. So in energy sense,
we'll talk about solar a little later, right? Let's still talk about burning, right? At the time we created burning, we did not know the consequences of burning.
Correct.
So in two areas, the human were benighted.
right,
Human race were not aware of. Number one, the carbon it produces.
correct,
Right? Number two, the limited resources of the earth. Right? Is either way. Suppose, even if we can continue burn forever, even if the atmosphere, our air can take as much carbon as we can produce. On the other hand, though, we have limited resources. Am I right?
correct,
There's almost, sooner or later, it's going to be one day you'll burn all the timbers,
correct,
all the forests. You burn all the coal,
right,
and you burn all the fossil fuels, such as natural gas, such as gasoline, petroleum,
correct,
right? Now, the other way, suppose there is an unlimited way of supply, though, our air, our atmosphere, our environment would not allow. So from both ends, now people are coming to realize,
There's
oh
choices.
yeah, from either way, we can continue the lifestyle we have now.
correct.
Does that sound like a conclusion?
Very precise. Now the question is, we cannot evade the question since we know better. Are we responsible to contribute to helping out? You know, because every day as I turn on a light, I started a car, I'm doing some damage to the environment in itself.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
and then the resource, of course, is not renewable. It's not self-sustainable. Eventually, we're gonna pump out all the crude oil and all that, and the damage is significant.
And
we'll
what
get into
we're
later.
facing now is number one, a natural resource which is daily becoming short,
Correct.
right? And number two, we have a environment that produces the global warming situation that threatens our life, right? And number three, we see things around us, water being polluted, land being polluted, river being polluted, everything being polluted. In other words, can we conclude that we human race, in the process of trying to improve our life though, contaminate our life, ruin our life, and in the end, we're going to kill ourselves? Can we conclude that way?
Let's put it this way. Eventually, I will leave this earth, but what kind of environment I'm living for our next generation? It's vividly imagining our children, maybe 1 or 2 generations, they will need a face mask in order to get oxygen if there's still any way to produce oxygen. And they would have to put on a face mask to clean out our mess.
You're right.
It's very sad and very grim. Can we still evade not looking at? And now that we discover this inexhaustible energy, which is solar and is clean, is free.
All right. Okay, let's take a short moment out, my dear friends. It looks that we started in a very good way by looking into the picture of what we are doing now. And there's no sustainability to talk about. No sustainability to talk about. And we, like my friend Jeff says, someday gonna leave nothing for our children who have to clean our mess with a face mask. Or sometimes when face mask becomes a shortage, like right now, well, we know human race has gone too far. So we will be right back, my dear friend. Stay with us.
Le bijou icône de Philippe Wolfers qui date de 1902. Il faut la regarder contre la lumière pour avoir toutes les couleurs de ce bijou qui est extraordinaire. Avec les opales, c'est un thème très à la mode, à la période Art Nouveau. On voit en argenterie, mais aussi en peinture. Et ça a à voir aussi quelque chose un peu symbolique. Une libellule, c'est très belle quand on la voit de loin, mais quand on l'approche, c'est comme un dragon en anglais. On dit un dragonfly.
C'est une des grandes figures de l'Art Nouveau. Et cette pièce, mieux que n'importe quelle autre, témoigne de sa virtuosité. L'opulence, le raffinement, les courbes et les couleurs, et puis le thème aussi, qui raconte une époque. Libellule a été réinterprétée, plus légère, mais c'est bien à son aïeul qu'elle fait référence, une pièce désormais accessible à tous, puisqu'elle est passée de la boutique au musée.
And a golden angel award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audience. Welcome back to the East West Show that is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and hand-forged by 10 generations of the #1 master craftsman on the global earth. Together, the name Wolfer stands as a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory. Back to the show. Back to my friend Jeff Lieou. He is a solar consultant, solar expert. With him, I'm not touching anything commercial. I'm not doing any advertising for his service or product. I'm just borrowing the knowledge from him to show to my audiences about what we, us, human race, should do or have to do, because we will come to a conclusion what is the only way out for human race before we all die of ignorance. Right now, speaking of human race, though, I believe that the human race has gone too far.
I agree.
We are too much off the track,
Correct.
right? So with the pollution, with everything, talking about a face mask though, that reminds me about the virus, the coronavirus, which is happening in China, which threatens the whole world. That's why the WHO has recognized it not only a China problem, it is a problem of the entire human race. So that's why everybody is stretching a helping hand to China, to Wuhan. On the second consideration, though, I really have no doubt to ask that is our human race as a whole behaving well? We're gone too far. We've gone too far. I don't think there's no connection between the virus and the environment contamination.
You don't think so?
All right? All right, I don't think so. There must be some kind of connection.
Oh,
There must be some kind of connection. All right? Forget that, which is, of course, not the subject for today, but I would like to point out to watch ourselves, watch our steps. Our footsteps, not only for carbon trace, but for our lifestyle. All right? Okay. That we'll talk about another day. Well, back to the energy, though. Okay. With the burning has been denied, right? In order to get electricity, which is the thing we need now, we need every day. We're talking about there are other ways. How much do you know about the tides, the sea-ocean tide, using that as a source of energy? Have we been making any progress in that as human race?
it's applicable. It's applicable. We can use solar, hydro, windmill, and tidal wave for the movement to the motion to create energy. Yes. However, those are not for general population, the average Joe that can contribute something to it. These are more like for commercial utility company. They try to find a new source of energy because they too realize it's exhaustible, the crude oil and the nuclear and all these traditional energy, coal and all that. And they do aware that there's consequence. If you allow me to go back a little bit, nowadays, a lot of new kind of disease or ailment or disorder in youngster, a lot contributed from all kind of modern products such as preservative, food coloring, growth hormone, additive to the food. And for billion years, the body was able to metabolize and assimilate to the environment, change slowly over time. And for the past 200 years, we suddenly industrialized and we quick change the whole earth. So the human way, the human body cannot overcome in a short period of time to adapt to the environmental change.
That's why lots of problems show. Lots of problems started up, right? Including what we just mentioned as the virus, right? Okay, now, to be strictly sticking to the subject today, though, we have altogether many other way out to get to electricity. We can use the windmills to produce electricity. Right? And we can use the ocean tide to produce, right? And of course, we can use nuclear plant to produce. However, each has scary stories. Look at Russia. Look at Japan, right? Fukushima or Fukushima? No, what's the name of Japan?
Fukushima. Forgive me.
Or for something.
Right.
All right.
And
recently,
Chernobyl.
The tsunami triggered that plant to explode and to leak the radiation, right? And take Russia, for example, Chernobyl of 20-something years ago, right? Which is still there hanging, not only the area of Chernobyl, is a dead city, it's a gold city.
Correct.
But in the surrounding area, in the bigger surrounding areas, even the Atlantic Ocean and even Pacific Ocean, the contamination, the radioactivity contamination is still there.
Correct.
Right? So nuclear is not a way out, isn't it?
This is what we know and what we have seen, and there's many that we don't see and we don't
even
know of.
All right, we
And
don't even know of.
This nuclear waste is going to last for thousands of years, and we still don't know what to do with it.
Or otherwise, how come there are so many cancer cases? How come there are so many people, folks, suffering from cancer? So you can't say they are not related,
Right.
right? Now, okay, now, nuclear, well, it's a done deal. We don't want to touch it, okay? Probably somebody might have a better ideas between for you than you and than me. My point is that with the tie, with the ocean tie, with the windmill, and with the nuclear power plant, the three together, can they produce enough power, enough energy, enough electricity for human race?
It's possible, but as for now, right now, as is for now, no. Look at Africa. A lot of countries, they don't even have access to electricity yet. There's a lot of human who don't have it. In Africa, they will use this black box, painted in aluminum box in order to get energy to heat their food nowadays in this modern age. So yes, it's possible we build along all the coastline with windmill and all the hydro or the tideway, then we'll produce enough energy to provide for the whole human race. However, the cost and also
efficiency.
Efficiency. All these are conducted a big scale company, and they are in money and profit in nature. So by building all this windmill and all this nuclear continue to do so, what kind of damage are we doing to the environment? And there's unknown consequences, if any, in the future. Like 500 years ago, we don't know. We're burning the coal, we create such.
And how are we going to transfer the electricity produced by us, for example, by using ocean ties to South America, to those areas which had no power at all? Right? During the transaction, I know 95, according to my study, last time I tried, about 95 of the power of the electricity, of the voltage, are being wasted.
Right.
During the
transmission.
Halfway transmission.
Right, the loss.
Right? Due to the resistance.
Correct.
Right? Okay, now we barely produce anything and we can transmit it to that far.
It's not practical. So
Plus,
let's say Africa, they have to build their own, let's say, windmill or hydro. So nearby, they can transmit the.
They probably rather build their own next to them.
Yeah, but do they have the money? Do they have the technology?
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. Money, technology, equipment, everything.
Let's say the government can build it. However, does the consumer have the ability to afford it?
Yeah. Government money does not grow on trees, right? They have to have the government income, the revenue there.
Right.
So without a big industry, there is a limited income revenue, right? Now, the conclusion, I want to get a conclusion to why we go solar, right? So conclusion number 2 is that we cannot produce enough electricity
Precisely.
by using nuclear, ocean tie, and windmill
Hydro,
to satisfy,
dam.
hydro, whatever, to satisfy the whole world demand
Correct.
of electricity.
Correct.
Am I right?
Correct.
And plus, you use a nuclear has always a risk.
Correct.
The risk may not show today. How about tomorrow? Not this year. How about next year? Not this decade. How about next decade? Not this century, how about next century? Goes on and on and on. So the question is there. The question is there. So now, my dear friend, my lovely audiences, I really doubt that probably we should consider the third way out, which is the only way out, that is solar. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back, my dear friends.
Everything we have to continue to work on now. Our is called James. English news every morning.
And a Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audience. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow on the East West with the exclusive sponsor of Wolfers. The Wolfers is the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry that has 400 years of glorious history and hand-forged by 10 generations of the master craftsmen on the global earth. Together, the name of Wolfers stands as a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory. Back to the show, back to my friend Jeff, a specialist in solar energy and a solar consultant, he called himself. I seem to have found an answer to all my questions regarding the whole line of energy, starting from the point when the apes in the forest discovered fire, to all the way to Industrial Revolution number 1, Revolution number 2, and right now you're talking about the IT Revolution number 3. Energy, energy, energy. Energy is the blood of our body, for our body. Without that, we can't live for a single day. However, you have to burn to create energy so far. I believe, let me ask you, so far you look at the creation of generation of electricity, how many percent relies upon burning? How many percent relies upon solar? How many percent relies upon otherwise?
Well, traditionally, we've been using whatever mean, from burning coal, and then we discover crude oil, and then to hydro. So, but many countries realize that the damage they have done to the environment by building the dam, and the risk they have to take, the collapse of the dams, and the nuclear disaster.
By dependability, by percentage, how much are we relying on burning so far? I mean, human race.
95%.
95%.
All the gasoline, all the coal.
Yeah, that's a scary.
To me,
that's a scary number.
To me, nuclear is a form of burning as well. Burning.
Nuclear is a burning.
Yeah.
You're burning nuclear.
Correct.
Right. So the only thing not by burning is that the ocean tide and the windmill. Those are the only ones. whatever you burn belongs to the burning.
Right.
So 95 depends on burning.
Yes.
And I would say the pollution, air pollution, right, carbon pollution, right, is mostly caused by burning.
Correct.
Am I right?
The green gas, the ozone layer is being destroyed and all that, and then so more of the
ozone is broken, right? So right now we're facing global warming, right? Lots of icebergs are melting. The ocean levels are increasing. So someday, somehow, we're going to be swimming in our own house.
That's one point that this is my own estimations. We burn the crude oil, yes, it warm up the globally, but my personal estimation and suspicions that the crude oil serve as the engine oil for the car. We keep taking the oil out, and the cushion, the layer, the protecting the outer layer of the earth from the burning from the inner core of the earth. Now without this what do you call the radiator? So the heat can come from inside and radiate more or heat up more. Therefore, the icebergs keep burning. I wonder how much really from the 1 degree of temperature increase globally, or was it caused by the inner core burning that without any cushion?
I have done some little research that to flood the whole world, the entire world, all you needed is 6 degrees of centigrade of temperature increase. In other words, you only increase 6 centigrade of temperature to have melted enough water to flood the entire global earth to a point that no human race survive.
And we are heading that way.
We are heading that way. And we are 1 degree already. All you needed is 6, right? We're 1 degree already. So that is a number that I can give you to see how seriously a situation we are in. Right now, to put all the questions together, solar, like the title of today's show says, solar, the only way out for human race, right? Yes. So why we conclude that? You have an answer for me?
First of all, the source of energy is inexhaustible unless the earth, unless the sun collapse, and we all be wiped out anyway.
Oh yeah, that's another story.
As long as the sun existed, it will provide light. We are using light to turn into electricity. We are not using heat. That's a misconception. Photovoltaic is solar. Photo means light. So as long as the sunlight, we can turn into energy, and it does not require big investment such as solar, such as windmill or nuclear plant.
Especially nuclear plant.
Right. Those are for profitable company. Their project. They just try to find new way, new source of energy so they can sell to us. I have learned in school that years ago people have been using hydrogen, water, and run a car. However, just fizzle out because it was, a big company just somehow buy them out, put them out. I don't want to get into. So there's other ways of acquiring energy. However, there's a lot of selfish-oriented motive entity that will prevent us from modernizing, going forward, and looking at a big picture because of the selfishness. However, solar is harvestable almost every day, especially in Southern California. We have sunlight almost every day of the year, and
everywhere on Earth, as long as they have a day.
We can provide energy in Alaska.
Daytime, right? So they have sunlight.
Yes, even in Alaska.
Except in North Pole and South Pole, when they have
They're
half a
using-
year of darkness.
Right.
So those areas probably you cannot produce. Oh, you can reserve it, can you?
Correct. With battery storage system, which
You
is
can storage
which is
it.
not mature yet. The battery thing. However, half of the year in Alaska relying on sunlight to produce energy, better than zero.
Like we just mentioned, about 95% of the energy of the electricity being lost the way of transmitting, right? If you have a plant, you have a solar plant next to your door,
Correct.
right there in South Africa, say by the jungle whatsoever, and you will produce your own.
Correct.
But that makes sense, right?
Correct. Actually, there is one non-profit entity that they're doing good thing for mankind. They go all in United States. They go around the world and
I
provide
have no doubt.
free solar for some country and
Sure,
even
sure.
the really poor widow family here. And
I have no doubt that for a household demand of electricity, your solar panels on the roof will satisfy. I can prove it because about 10 years ago, I interviewed an engineer of Arcadia.
Yes.
Back then, he worked for City of Los Angeles as an architect.
right.
Right. What he did, that he built up his own house called Energy House in Arcadia. I was there for several times. I interviewed him for several times. I tried and saw with my own eyes how it worked. That whole household, he and his wife and his two daughters, four, with a house of 3 or 4 or 5 rooms, they don't pay bills. They don't pay electricity. Because what they do, they have a system built up with Southern California Edison that whatever they produce, they use from whatever they produce over the roof.
Correct.
And whatever in excess, the surplus goes to Southern California Edison. And the Southern California Edison gives them credit. So on their electricity bill, you see minus. We see a bill of certain dollars, right? They see minus 20, minus 25, something like that.
Yes.
That I saw with my own eyes. I know that is applicable. All right, my dear friends, my lovely audiences, and it reminds me probably it is time to someday to get my friend of Arcadia. His name is Edward Huang, and to get him here to continue to talk. Let's take a break. We will come back to find out to satisfy a household demand we can do now. Can we do more? My question. Stay with us.
continue to work on it now. His name is called James. I host English news every morning.
And a golden angel award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences, my dear fellow citizens of the United States. Welcome back to the East West, which is exclusively sponsored by Wolfers, the Belgian royal family designated brand of jewelry with 400 years of glorious history and handforged by 10 generations of the number one craftsman on the global earth. Together, the name of Wolfers stands as a testimony to the spectacular and the share of the royal glory. Back to Jeff Lieou, my dear friend, who is a solar consultant. My question, I do understand that the solar energy can satisfy a house. Can solar energy do something more than that?
A lot more. Solar is doing great things. Actually, we discovered solar in 1839. It's almost been 300 years. We finally put it into practical application. Can we self-sustain by just relying on solar? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, one day our children will come back and laugh at us that we've been burning this thing for millenniums, you know, wow, you know, that we can just harvest the sunlight and provide all the energy that we need. As you say, some of the family will have excessive energy to push back to the grid or sell to the grid, you know. But I don't know, this is a Southern California TV program or the California or nationwide, but you know, not mentioning Southern California Edison, any utility company, they were there to make money. So
you're right.
You know, so every household we have to pay in order to use the energy anyway. So, you know, right now, as evident that millions of families already install solar, they are able to self-sustain enough to provide them with sometimes excessive to sell them. However, when we sell it back to them, be very careful to read, you know, may I show the TV on. Average family, you know, electric use in 12 months will be like this. After solar, the excessive will be like this. But there's a fine print out here. As of today, we owe you hundreds or thousands of dollars, but the fine print that you are eligible to receive surplus rate. So they pay you penny for the excessive power.
The government is aiding the program. Am I right?
There's a federal government give the solar incentive program, the tax rebate program for the family that is eligible.
All right.
California, from Arnold Schwarzenegger, governor, very nice. They left with this CSI, California Solar Incentive, to give back certain area code like LADWP, Los Angeles City.
In other words, if I decided to put the solar panels all over my roof.
Okay.
So do I have to put up money? Do I have to buy them, or the government will provide them?
Now we get into the meat of the program. Very often, the most common question I encounter for potential customer, first question is it free? No. If anyone, please go on the California Public Utility Commission. They have this thing called California Solar Protection Guide.
Solar Consumer Protection Guide.
The first question, you can get free solar energy at no cost to you. False. So there's a myth out there, you know, these crooks out there, they spread out that, oh, it's free installation. Really, if there's such a free thing,
that's not not free.
No. However, solar industry is set up in such a way, most of the family, let's say if they are financing the system, or
Financing, okay.
or they leasing the system, they do not need to put $1 of
I
upfront
see.
cost. They go through finance or leasing. They pay monthly for leasing. Leasing is for the family that do not pay federal taxes. The people that work and pay taxes, average Joe, every year will pay in the tax. Government will give the rebate back from the tax we're paying in. It has been 30% for 10 years, and starting this year, it's 26%. It will be 22% rebate next year, and then that's zero after that. And for the California CSI program, state incentive program, all the money is already exhausted at this point, so there's no more available. However, there's still very beneficial. This is the money that we pay into the Fed, and we don't get it back now. The Fed is encouraging every family to go solar by giving back 26% as of this year. So,
in other words, in the long run, it pays back.
if
right?
the system
With
buying
the
cash,
money saved.
correct.
In the long run, it pays back whether your loan, whether your monthly payment, whether your lease payment, so on and so forth, that will pay back.
Basically, cash, finance, or lease is really the real program to go. And then there's a called PPA program. A lot of new community, such as Irvine or Chino Hill, and some of these new community, they will have the house built and come with solar, but those are called PPA.
Okay.
It's a bad idea.
That is the done deal, because not only do I agree what you telling me, like I said, I have seen with my own eyes about what Mr. Huang did with his house. I know that is a very, very applicable, right? But my real question is to worry a little more. Can we someday somehow fly a solar energy airplane, solar energy trains, or drive a solar energy cars?
Absolutely.
Can we do that?
We are doing it already. There's an airplane that relying on solar. China just came out with one. I saw it on the news yesterday. And America, there's a company, SunPower, already built many years ago. We've been using solar panel for satellite since 1950. As you mentioned earlier in the program, that outer atmosphere, all it needs is sunlight. However, not all solar panels are equal. The outer space requires very high efficiency solar panel, like 57% of changing the light into electricity. And right now, the highest about 20 in investment.
I know.
22.8.
Well, if you're talking about a satellite, though, suppose satellite is like this.
Right.
It's big like this. They will have the solar panels about 10 times, 100 times bigger than the item itself. Right? But when we fly an airplane, though, we can't say with an airplane like such, and then we have a wing all the way long. We can't do that.
I wish I have the picture with you. Actually, the airplane wing was the outer layer was built out of solar panels. It can fly non-stop around the world right now. So it would yes.
It is already manufactured?
Yes. Go Google online, and I don't want to mention company and all that. Yeah.
I see.
Non-stop. So just like the early day, the Rice brother, the first airplane engine for little airplane, how can they envision that now they can carry 300-400 passengers?
How about solar cars? Automobile.
Solar car. For right now, the space of an average car probably don't have enough surface space to absorb enough energy. But we don't need to worry about. That's the next phase of development. It's very possible. However, we have enough space, especially California, we have enough space to put our solar panel to harvest enough energy to charge the electric car. Electric car is a way to go. 3 years from now, all these gasoline car probably going to be slowly obsolete. And a lot of people have a misconception. Oh, I am contributing to the environment. I'm driving an electric car. Yes, it reduces carbon output. How?
No, to me that's not necessarily the case. You use electricity anyway.
Yeah. The question is, where is the electricity come from?
Where
Still
did you
burning
get the
coal.
electricity, right?
Still burning coal.
They're
and
burning coal,
nuclear.
they're burning timber, they're burning anything from burning, or they're using a nuclear plant
Correct.
whatsoever.
But most people don't realize that. But their intention is good. Try to contribute, whatever, with the environment. However, the source of energy still comes from the traditional mean. So now we can just have solar panel.
Instead of you're taking money out of this pocket, you take it out of this pocket. That's the thing.
So let's get into why people should go solar.
Okay.
Because is it free? Practically, yes. In reality, it's no. Because yes, it costs something to make this solar panel. However, every month we're paying electric bill because we're buying from whatever source, whatever company that provides us the electricity. We use them, we pay them. These money are gone.
Yeah, you spend the money anyway.
Solar, how it works is that we buy our own solar panel, just like buying a car. I make payment, I can go to work and
The
make
logic
money.
is simple. Mother Nature decided to give us a sun, right? The moment the Mother Nature decided to give us a sun, they didn't set a price on that. It's for free.
Beautiful.
It is for free.
Beautiful.
Okay, my dear friend, we're over time. I'm so glad that it has been my wish for a long time to talk about solar energy from A to Z. It seems that we did it, all right? And this whole credit goes to Jeff Lieou, solar specialist. And my dear friends, thank you for watching. And we'll see if we can bring Mr. Huang together with you for another show.
I'll be honored.
All right, good.
Thank you.
See ya.